Professor Wergeles here. We are continuing on lecture number 28. We just got number 1 image done. We're moving on to number 2 in internet media types. So we're going to open up the second directory. We're going to look at index.php. Now, it doesn't matter what file you're opening. No matter what file you're using, you need to set the meme type, especially if I'm transferring that over the web. So in this example, I have a PHP file, and it's the same as we did in our last example, which was an image file. And what we're doing is we're making a request to the backend. So that's going to be our server-side programming language, that's PHP. So I'm making a request to the backend, and the backend is sending an image back to the front end. So anytime I'm sending an image back to the front end, I need to specify the meme type. And same with this example. I'm going to make a GET request, and I'm going to send an XML file back to the front end. So in this case, if I go back to my media types, now what you can do is you can do a control find. You're going to search for text/XML because that's what we want to send. I have an XML file here. It's a text file, specifically in XML, just like HTML. HTML is a text file, but it has a specific format. JSON is also text and has a specific format. So I have a text file here, and it's formatted in XML. So I'm going to use text/XML. So I need to set the header. I need to use the header to set the content type. I'm going to set the content type equal to text/XML. So I'm setting the meme type. I'm going to open up that file for reading. In this case, it's not an image, so I can just read it regularly as a string, not bytes. I set the buffer link. I'm going to read line by line, and I'm going to print that back to the user interface. So with this example, I could make a AJAX request to this file, or I can make a GET request with the URL. So if I come to my server, go back one directory to the XML directory, you'll see here I have the XML associated with that file. And what's nice about it is it actually will display it in XML format. Now let me show you what happens when I take the meme type out. If you take the meme type out in an image, some browsers are able to handle that, and they'll look for the image type based off the extension, and they'll try to handle it the best they can. But if you programmatically set the meme type, the browser will know exactly what to do and exactly how to handle the corresponding file type. If I don't set the content type, if I don't set the meme type, then the browser will try to interpret it the best they can. So if I take this header off, save it, upload to the server, refresh the browser, this is what's going to happen. Okay, you're going to see it's just formatted in text. If you come back to the meme type article and scroll down a little bit, you'll see the default for text files is going to be plain text. Note that plain text does not mean any kind of textual data. If they expect a specific kind of textual data, they will likely not consider it a match. Specifically, if they download a plain text file from a link declaring a CSS file, they will not recognize it as a valid CSS file if they represent it with plain text. The CSS meme text/CSS must be used. So the default for a text file will be plain text, and that's what you're seeing here. Whereas if I specify it's an XML file, it's going to parse the XML and show that in the corresponding XML format. So if I put the meme type back, save it, upload to the server, refresh the page, you'll see that my XML format is back. Now they have a few meme types available for XML. So if I search XML, you actually see they have application/XML. What happens if I specify the meme type as application/XML? Make sure you upload that to the server, refresh the page, and you'll see in this case it's the same. So it depends on what you're trying to do. Now, why would I want to use text over application? You'll see here if I come to the W3C XML media types is a specification standardizing 3 media types: application XML and some others. You'll see that this is used for exchanging network entities that are related to the extensible markup language, while defining text XML and others as aliases for the respected application types. So text XML is in all aspects the same as application XML above, except that the type name is text versus application. So sometimes the meme types may have a different type, but act the same way, which we saw in this case here. However, this is more of a text file, so text/XML will usually be seen. So as we continue forward, remember, if I'm sending a file in either direction, from the back end to the front end or from the front end to the back end, I must specify the meme type so the browser knows how to handle that file and so the server knows how to handle that file. And the extension is ignored. So the only way I can tell what file type it is based off that meme type. If I leave the meme type off, the browser will interpret it the best it can, and the server will interpret it the best it can. But if I specify the meme type, it will ensure that that page loads properly. So be thinking this as we continue forward in our next example. Before we continue, make sure you upload your code to the server. Once this is done, go ahead and continue to the next video. We'll see you in the next video.